tata! Hi everyone! In the previous tutorial we gave you 3 habits you could embrace to build an authentic outreaching culture in your group. They were 1. To start every year with the goal.
2. Quarterly motivation and annual equipping.
And 3. Monthly reminding for prayer and testimony. If you are doing these things, the very DNA of your group will become outreaching in nature already. But we now want to add another layer to this.
The final 2 habits focus not so much on the culture or DNA of the members as on harnessing their growing passion to run some really effective outreaching events. There are natural seasons in the year, and planning with this in mind has benefits.
For example, it could be helpful to have a special focus on outreach in the lead up to times like Christmas and Easter, because this way, your primary focus on revision and effort is in one part of the year, which enables you to disciple your group in other topics in other parts of the year.
You see, everything needs a place, and by giving primary focus to different things at different times, it makes everything more realistically achievable and simpler too.
Habit number 4 therefore relates to this, and it is intentional revision of key outreach points in preparation for your outreach season. Imagine it's mid-November and you have an outreach event planned for mid-December. So you give 5 to 15 minutes each week to really checking that your members are ready to be a witness. Maybe on the first week you discuss plans for the coming outreach, who each person could invite, and then pray for your friends.
Maybe the next week you revise the 3 questions we've been mentioning and encourage them to hand out the invitational flyers or Facebook invitations.
Then, the next week, you all revise how to share the gospel briefly but clearly.
Then, on the week before the event, you all spend 10 minutes in prayer for the friends you're inviting, and you remind them about the discipleship resource you have for any of their friends who show an interest in learning more.
If you did this kind of thing in the lead up, for example, to Christmas and Easter, it could consolidate your learning while sparking the application to life again.
And finally, habit number 5, plan to connect with your non-church friends through running outreaching and bridging activities based around the interests of your friends, which your group members listed at the start of the year. For example, maybe you find you've got a few guys interested in PlayStation games, and they each have half a dozen or more friends who might come to a PlayStation competition. So run a PlayStation and gaming night as a bridging activity and find a way to include a simple testimony or gospel thought in the program. Then afterwards, invite them back to whatever your group is doing the next week.
Maybe you find that a whole lot of youth are really interested in football.
Run a soccer program.
Maybe they're interested in being rock stars.
Invite a Christian band to run a workshop on what's involved in pulling off a great performance for a gig.
And maybe they all want to go fishing.
In which case, find a way to make that happen. Maybe find some dads who would be open to taking a group on an overnight fishing trip. You get the drift. Find ways to connect, because with a small devotion and prayer, these gatherings can become the context of some great conversations. Relationship and trust is established, and many will then come back.
And that's it. 5 areas of habit that will help you build culture,
rather than to just run programs.
It's not difficult to put these habits in your calendar, and if you did, over a year or 2, you'll not only see the number of new friends coming to your outreaches increasing, you'll also see the number of your youth engaging their friends in spiritual conversations increasing.
And to note, doing this will have only used up about 8 of your potential 52 discussion times in the year, while achieving something that could not only change people's lives, but their eternities.
Remember, the Great Commission from Jesus wasn't to run church programs, it was to make disciples.
With habits like these, you can shift outreach from being something that you do to being a part of who you and your group actually are. And that's what discipling people is all about. And it's sure to deliver results.
Please reflect on these habits and how you could apply them starting this year.